Hey guys, welcome to the Swipe Effect. Yet another episode. It's a week since the last one. It's been a week and a bit. My name is Carrie. I'm the host, as if you haven't ever listened to us before. Living in Toronto, of course, if you haven't listened to us before. I have a special guest today because her name is the same as my name.
Spelled different, Carrie Bradshaw.
Spelled different, that's right. Carrie Bradshaw. Oh, mine's like Carrie Lotion almost.
Yeah.
Carrie Ohm is her name, most likely known as Comer.
Comer.
Spell your last name.
It's Oehm.
Oehm.
Super German. No one else has it.
Carrie Ohm. So Comer, they just, whatever, abbreviate your name. The reason I really, I've been wanting to have you on for like a little bit. The reason I really wanted to bring Carrie on actually is that not only do we work together at times, you have other jobs as well. Carrie is, for lack of a better term, and you can't take offense to any of this, although you've never taken offense to anything I've probably ever said. You're like the guy's girl.
Yeah. I have a twin brother, so I've always been that girl.
You have a twin brother?
Yeah, I have a twin brother.
There are twins everywhere now. My roommate's an identical twin.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're two girls, but like they're
brother,
just everywhere.
But yeah.
Okay.
So I've always been exposed to that. I've always like hung out with the dudes.
Too,
yeah, younger sister.
Yeah. A younger sister. So Carrie, like, you have a group of guy friends. They also work with us too. I've just kind of noticed that like your social interaction with guys is that they like connect to you on like a friend level. But I also wanted to have you on because I can't imagine how many of them have either hit on you, wanted to hit on you, talked about hitting on you, inadvertently hit on you, or what kind of situations have you ever had to be like, whoa, like bag your head up? Maybe not at all though.
Not really.
Not at all.
Like, I mean, in university for sure. Like there was always like one or two that would be like, yo, like we should just hook up. And I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Well, like, can I think about it? Or we just should. It's easier when your friend is asking a friend though. Yeah. Like, have you ever had guy friends be like, come on? And then they're like, just kidding.
Yeah.
And you're like, because I said no?
Yeah.
That's why.
I've had that. But like, I don't know. Guys at work, no.
Never?
No.
Okay.
No. I think
when you started, Carrie and I classically, we work at a sports television network at TSN actually, that we obviously have day jobs. And we work with predominantly men, although increasingly a number of women have come in. And I love it.
No,
I'm
it's
very
awesome.
like, Carrie's like another independent, driven sort of type of person that I want to say that I am, or I'm trying to be. And so that's another thing is like, you're a lot younger than me.
Not that much younger.
25?
25. Yeah.
Man, 25 is fun.
It is
single?
Fun. Single, very single.
We have been out a few times together.
Yep.
We have had a lot of fun together.
Mm-hmm.
There was one incident, one time when we were together where I remember we showed up at the bar and we were with a bunch of the guys from work who all, of course, pretty much treat you like their brother, their sibling.
Yeah.
And probably me as well.
Mm-hmm.
And although I'm older than them, but still whatever. And we're out at the bar and you like disappeared. And I was like, I'm looking for the other girl that came with me. And the guys are like, oh yeah, Carrie, she's right over there. And I turned around and you were at the bar. And I mean, I love how social you are, obviously, because I like to think that I tend to be like that too. Yeah. I love talking to strangers. And I looked over and I was like, how old is that gentleman with Carrie right now?
The guys chirp me about that forever. But like, that's just like,
do you remember me coming over being like, hey, do you want to come over here with me? And you're like, no, I'm good. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
I was like having a fantastic conversation with this like 50-year-old man about like the hockey game that we were watching. Like, and then the conversation, I don't even remember what we talked about. But I'm just like, no, I'm good.
Can we say whether this was at the Underground? If you live in Toronto, you listen to the show in Toronto, this is at the ND. Of course, watching a hockey game. Like, it's bumping with people. There are bras and porn all over the walls. And there's a 50-year-old man there who Carrie is extremely entertained by standing at the bar.
Yeah, no, he was great. Great guy.
Were you like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Well, like I always do that. I don't know why. Like I get like a certain level of drunk and then I'm like, I'm going to go make new friends. And then I just like.
How does that normally go over? Do you meet really cool people? Have you ever had any super flops where you're like, you're the worst?
No, like I usually I don't know. I can talk to anyone about anything. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I'll go and I'm like, I'll feel the situation out. And I'm like, so what's up? And they could be like the ugliest person in the world. And I would be best friends with them at the end of the night. Yeah. I don't know why.
Until they're like, I love you.
And then like
no,
but then I'll ninja dust. So like I don't even get their numbers or anything. I'm just like, okay, this was fun. Bye.
Ninja dusting. Explain to people, please, what ninja dusting is. In my generation,
okay, yeah,
we're just learning about ghosting and breadcrumbing right now because
okay,
it's obviously super common.
yeah.
I also wanted to have Carrie on because she's way more plugged into the scene than we are. So, like, give us some tips. Okay.
I'm not very good at it.
Well, you're out and about, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
we
very
have a great
social.
time. Like, so I mean,
Like-
I can't say I'm not either. It's just like it seems to be like people in my age demographic think about it more often when they're conversing with someone than we think.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Are you thinking about like, oh, is this guy cute? Is he not cute? No,
No.
you're just making new friends.
No, I just make new friends.
Yeah.
Like I was with the boys last week at Warehouse.
Yeah.
After we watched the Raps game, and all the boys were like, whatever. Patrick and I were both like, he's like, I'll wingman you, and we like decided to wingman each other.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And there was like no guys that I was interested in at all. So
Does that okay? When you wingman each other, does that mean you go and like scope out potentials for him and vice versa?
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, "What about that guy?"
And then I'll like go in and be like, "Oh my god, I love your purse." And then I'll like make because I'm really good at like whoever it is.
Yeah.
I'm just like make
easily
best friends with
sociable.
them. Yeah.
Commonly,
like I tend
happy.
to like strive in the washroom. Like
yeah. Oh,
like
man.
I always
Some
make
of the best
friends.
conversations I've had in my life have been in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are so pretty. No, you are so pretty.
Like I could be like, that's a sick skirt. I couldn't tell you what the skirt looked like the next day, but
yeah,
like
that girl was cool. Okay, so you guys were wingmanning.
Yeah.
Did you ninja dust on him?
No. Okay, so I sat between like 3 dudes and then ended up like just hanging out with them.
Where you were like, was Patrick like, oh, look at those 3 dudes over there? Or were you like, I'm just gonna go?
No, there was an open seat and I wanted grilled cheese, so I was just like.
Priorities.
Yeah, so I just like plunked my ass there and I like just sat there and talked to them for like half an hour. And then Patrick and I think Ben were behind me and they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna go home. And I'm like, okay, like
Bye.
And
were they like, are you leaving too? And you were like, no.
No, I ordered food and I waited. And I had a drink with my new friends and then I left.
So do the new friends ever result in them being like, give us your number? Like
one of them did, but I didn't give it to him.
I love how I act like every guy talks like that. There are really nice gentlemen out there. I don't want to
Yo, man,
people.
like, can I have the digits?
Yeah, I've met, like people don't talk like that.
No.
And then he came up to me and was like, yo. And I was like, what? Did you want to ask me something? Bye. This one time, tell me if I guarantee you this hasn't happened to you before, but this one time, well, you might have noticed at work, sometimes the guys call me Gordo. Okay. It's like a weird, my last name is Gendron or Gendron as Anglophones would say. Gordo is like, because I'm the one girl with all the guys that Carrie is too feminine. So it's like, okay, Gordo's with us.
Why they
like,
call
let's
me
call
Comer.
Gordo for sure, because it's not like a Carrie thing. Also, because one time we were out and a guy, whatever, just like was really nice, started a conversation with me and we were talking, but it was loud.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, it's Carrie. And he was like, Gary?
Do you ever get Karen?
I've gotten Terry. And then I was like, Terry, oh, I can see how that. And he was like, like Terry Fox. And then I was out because I was like, really?
Really, homie?
That's the first Terry that came to your mind? Terry Fox.
Yeah, you
wrong.
Terry Fox.
Like, no. And I'm going to go now. But the Gary one, I looked at him and I was like, dude, really? Did you actually throw Gary? He's like, I'm sorry, Jerry? And it got even worse. I was like, not even Terry? No. Sorry, so what have you gotten? Karen. Oh.
Karen. I get Karen all the time. And I'm like, no, it's Karen. They're like, okay, Karen. And I'm like,
no, it's Karen.
Well, whatever. You can call me Karen.
Karen here. Hi.
Karen. What up? And one of my best friends' name is Karen too. Hey. And then And then they're like, 2 Karens? And I'm like, no. No.
Carrie.
It's Karen.
Not. Do you how are your girlfriends now? Are they single?
Okay, so I had like a moment on the weekend because they're
kind
like.
of a moment.
Okay, so they're like, okay, guys, let's do a team dinner. Let's all go to this place, blah, blah. I was working, so I couldn't go anyways. But I was like, okay, yeah, down. Like, because we have a group chat. So they're all like making the plans in the group chat.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to bring this guy and I'm going to bring my boyfriend, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, I realized that there's only 2 single girls left in the group. And I was like, oh shit. So I like messaged Karen.
Hey Karen.
The
Karen
other
here.
single girl. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, we gotta pick it up. Like,
was she like, what do you mean? Had she realized it, or was she like,
no, she didn't realize?
Because were you like, just sort of realizing that like everyone here is a couple?
Yeah, I'm like, if we would have, because she didn't go either.
Okay.
And I'm like, if we would have went, we would have been like third wheeling hard.
Yeah. And how are your friends when they're in relationships? Because most of the people I surround myself with are like still sort of like you wouldn't really be able to tell that they're even in one. I need to be with people that are like same level as me, where like when like you still want to go out on the weekends, you still want to go do fun things, you want to do all the activities, blah, blah, blah. And I really don't need you to be like touching each other the entire time. I would love it if we were all just really good friends.
So there's different dynamics in my group. So there's like the ones that like I'm tight with the boyfriend and like I go over to their place, we're drinking beers, it's like casual, it's chill. There's not like making out in the corner.
Yeah, you're
like,
just
whatever.
like, okay, whatever.
And then there's other ones where like when they get a boyfriend, they like just drop off the face of the earth and I don't see them for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I'll like text them like, hey, like,
how's it going?
What's new? We used to be best friends, but.
And they're usually like their answer with what's new is like, oh, me and so did this. And then we decided to go there. And then we were in Niagara Falls for the weekend. Like, I have to say, of the few friends of mine that are married, after they got married, our relationship has been distanced like tremendously.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Like on purpose.
No,
it's not like we're we're just like less often friends. We're still obviously super tight.
Yeah, but like when I see them, it's like the same thing.
Like, oh my God, hey.
Yeah.
How are you?
So like, what's going on? And then it's like a free for all, and I tell them everything, and they tell me everything. It's chill. But it's like I won't see them for 6 months.
Do you have any group members who are married? Yet?
No.
Any engagements?
No.
That's good. You're 25?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. No. There's
People
no
aren't rushing.
I mean, like, obviously, like, I look on my Facebook and every other day there's a person getting engaged, but I'm from a small town. So like, I feel like that's kind of normal there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 22 and up. Like, if you're 24 and single there, it's like, what's wrong with you?
So you're like scrounging to try and find like the last available.
Yeah. Like,
here's another question. You're from a small town, which is where?
It's Southampton, Ontario. So it's it's on Lake Huron, near Sauble Beach.
Let's say it's the Hamptons for real.
Yeah, it's the Hamptons.
Yeah, Carrie's from the Hamptons. Small town. When you moved to the city, when you grew up, did you have that like, I'm going to meet someone, we're going to buy a house, and then we're going to get married, and then my parents are going to do this for it? Like, or were you always like, I'm moving to the city, I can't wait to get there, and that's not like priority?
No, like I was never like, I want to get married at this age, have kids at this age. Like that was not me. Like I always
never had that either.
But I've always like kind of put my career ahead of that. I've always been like, I want to do this for myself. I've never really like assumed that I would be with someone and have to like consider what they want to do.
I'm like so waving to you to put your mic up closer to your mouth. Once I watch it get down to
here.
Sorry, so we're new at this. I'm new at this. So, you know. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, because I have a lot of friends also who like grew up that certain way, or their parents like wanted them to be like that. Then like, I got to get out. They moved to the city, and they're like, I still need a boyfriend now. And
yeah,
like, why?
No.
Like, why now?
No, I don't. And even like my parents, my parents might think I'm a lesbian now because I know bringing people home. But
could you?
What?
You don't live with them anymore. You live in your own place now.
No, but like,
oh, you're not bringing any guy home to like meet them.
Yeah, they're always like, my mom's like, so like, when are you gonna bring a guy home like for Easter?
You have a sister. Is she in a relationship?
No, her and I are like both very single.
So like, your parents like, girls.
Like my brother.
Nobody.
Oh, actually, this is hilarious. So last year at Christmas, my little cousin who was in grade 10 brought a girl to Christmas, and my grandma's
grade
like
10.
My grandma's like, oh, so Connor's the first one out of all of you to bring someone to Christmas,
pointing it out to everyone at the table. You're like, oh my God, Grandma, I haven't found the perfect woman yet.
Sitting there watching like Doctor Who, holding hands. I was like,
did it slightly make you be like,
yeah, no, I felt very single.
This is like, this is really it, eh? You guys look really happy. I'm so happy for you. Enjoy it, because it's never gonna last. What's your dating history like? I've never really asked you. Have you been in long-term relationships?
No.
Or you like, well, because you've been doing school and career.
Well, like, yeah. So like, I went from high school right to university. Then I was at Laurier for 3 years, and then I don't know if I've ever
shout out Laurier.
Woo woo, Golden Hawks, baby. Ow, ow. And then so I made a YouTube video in university.
Okay.
Didn't think anything of it. I was going to go to school to be a lawyer. Like I wanted to be like a sports agent. Like I wanted to go that route.
Determined, yeah.
Like very like, yeah, I was in double degree. Like I wanted to be a lawyer.
Wow.
So, and then I make this YouTube video called Shit Hockey Players Say.
Oh my God, I've watched it.
Yeah, that's me. So
yeah, that was really it's really popular. No,
it's yeah, I guess it's like super embarrassing.
Tell them again what it's called. Loudly.
Shit hockey players say.
Shit hockey players
say. So I made that in like half an hour, edited, slapped it together, thought it was funny, like sent it to my brother and his friends, being like, oh, well, this is you guys.
Okay, but like explain the premise. Like, what'd you do in the video? Just tell me, if people are just listening right now, like what, because I've seen them.
Yeah. So I dressed, like I was buzzed from the bar. Like I dressed up and I like shoved like eyeliner all over my face and like colored my teeth in. And my friend and I were like messing around, like, yeah, like it's like a Bass Pro hat.
You would like repeat basically like, expressions that fucking hockey players would say.
Yeah, be like,
they're
yo,
like,
babe, you're a rocket. Like, it's like stupid. Like, just so stupid. And then I posted online not thinking like anything's gonna happen. Like, literally posted online to show my brother and be like, this is you and your idiot friends. And then all of a sudden, like, it started like getting posted on my wall because it doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
So people, and like I've always been into sports. Like I played hockey for 15 years and everything. So people like two and two together, whatever. They post on my wall, be like, yo, Comer, this is hilarious. Like, watch this.
Did you only do one or did you do several? You did.
No, I did two.
You did two.
Three. I had to close one off because it was a little bit
racy.
Yeah. I couldn't keep it up.
Hockey players.
So that kind of like totally changed my avenue of like what I was going to do, because then all of a sudden I had like the Hockey News message me and they're like, we want to do a 2-page spread on you. I'm like, okay.
Wicked.
Sick. Like, this is like dope. I'm like 19 years old.
Yeah. And you're I'm a YouTube star forever.
And the thing is, in high school, I always made YouTube videos and like stupid shit. Like,
this is your generation. I'm trying to like, obviously we're grasping it now, but man, your generation.
Like I saved up to buy a MacBook. Like I scooped ice cream all summer to buy a freaking MacBook so I could like have iMovie and make like YouTube videos, and they were like the stupidest things in the world. I always wanted to be like a YouTube star. So then but then it like happened out of like nowhere, and it wasn't even like a YouTube star. I was just kind of like, oh, it blew up, whatever.
But like one of your other jobs was like you've been like a sports reporter, like a fantasy sports reporter online.
Yeah. So
from that, were you like, I'm good in front of a camera? Like like that?
No. Not whatsoever. I was like, I'm the type of person that just kind of chucks myself into things.
Yeah.
So I do the Hockey News thing, and then I'm like, so do you guys like do internships? This is cool. And they're like, yeah, we do. Do you want one? And I'm like, yeah.
Right now.
So I like that summer I interned for them.
Sick.
And
they took you just like, they were just like, yeah. That's no problem.
Yeah, like I probably sent them the worst email of my life. Like I would love to read that email.
I'm that chick.
Like it's probably so bad. And then I
got you a job. Not that bad.
Where was I? I was at some bar at some sauce hockey event or something, and I meet up with Sean McKenzie.
Yeah, love him.
So I didn't know him at the time.
Shout out Bob McKenzie's son.
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
He's so great. We love him.
And he's like,
unless we have something bad to say about him, love it.
No, he's great. He's great. But he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, what do you do? I didn't know he was Bob's son. Like, I didn't know him at all. So I'm like, what do you do, blah, blah? He's like, I go to school for sports broadcasting. And then I started harassing him about this school. And
so I'm like, I want to go to that school.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, what's his school about? Like, tell me everything. Like, I need to drop out of Laurier. I need to leave the law school thing behind, and I need to go to this school. So I find out, and then ever since then, like, I've been very laser focused. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. No one's getting in the way of it. Like, so that's probably why I'm very single.
Okay, but definitely not why, because once the apps were created, how easy was it for you to just like join, swipe, see who's out there, and you could still do your laser focused shit.
Okay, no.
Except once in a while you have to go on a date.
But okay, so I have had the worst dating experiences of my life.
Like some of them, like sometimes oh my God, sometimes I watch your Instagram story and I am like LOLing beyond belief.
Like, okay, so I'll tell you 2 stories. We have Wonder Bread and milk bags.
Okay, Wonder Bread and milk bags.
So because all my friends, they don't go on this stuff.
They don't?
They don't. I'm the only one that will like venture on it.
This is like your time for you guys. Like, everyone's more your demographic.
Yeah, they don't go on it. So I'm like the only one on it.
Okay.
So I like don't have anyone to like compare people with. I'm like, yo, are you talking to this guy too? Like, whatever. So
can I ask you quickly what you think of guys who always post a picture of them with holding a fish because they love fishing?
Oh yeah, no, there's fish, babies, and dogs.
Oh my God, we'll save that for another episode because like I want to do a whole entire episode.
Oh yeah,
on like babies, obviously not my kid.
Oh, yeah, and then their bio's like my sister's kid. Like,
yeah, And you're like, cool, but you still posted 3 of your 5 photos with you and the baby.
Yeah.
So like, okay.
So I'll start with Wonder Bread. So I go on these dates because like, and like plus two, like I'm like they look cool and they're like the conversation's fine, and like I don't want to go out with a guy that's taking selfies and all that kind of shit. So I'm just like, okay, this guy's normal, whatever. Met up with Wonder Bread.
Yeah,
we had beer.
So we're calling him Wonder Bread.
Yes.
Okay.
We had beer and we watched a hockey game or something, and he seemed really cool. Like he was normal, whatever. I was like kind of attracted to him, not really, but I'm more of a personality kind of person over
Me too.
looks.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Because like
it has to be that.
Oh, actually I have 3.
Dude, it has to be the personality thing. It has to be. Otherwise, sorry, we're all gonna age.
I went out with a model once and he showed no, it was like the worst event of my life. He was wearing like a mint green tight shirt.
Oh.
And I was like, and he made me buy his peppermint tea, and I'm like, oh yeah, it matches your shirt, bro. Like, here you go.
Were you like, are we not having alcohol? No, you don't have to have
like
alcohol.
It was horrible. Like... So okay, Wonder Bread. So second date rolls around, he's like, yo, let's go to this arcade bar.
Great idea.
I'm like, okay, cool, sounds fun.
So fun.
So I go to this arcade bar. I'm like not even done my drink, and he's like, so like let's just go drink with my roommates at my place. And I'm like,
okay, so you're gonna meet his friends like immediately on the second date?
And like I'm real easygoing, so I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, cool, sounds good.
Yeah, of course.
So we get to his place, his roommates aren't there. I'm like,
oh no, he lured you.
Yeah. So I look on his counter and I see Wonder Bread. Okay, what right human buys Wonder Bread? Who goes into the grocery store
semi-adult
and is like, oh, this guy's like 32.
Oh,
so I'm like, what human? Like that is like having crack on your countertop. Like, so I'm like, okay, red flag.
It was white, too?
white Wonder Bread.
Yeah,
freaking like blue purple packaging.
Oh yeah, all the bubbles,
I buy Wonder Bread,
all that stuff. Yeah,
so
it's flashy, it's silver.
So I'm like, get me out of here. So then he's like, oh, I'll show you around like before you go, and I'm like, oh, great. So like he's showing me around, and he like takes me up to his room. I'm like, fuck my life, like, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here.
Yeah,
and I'm awkward, so I'm just kind of like, so awkward. I'm like, how do I get out of here? So then all of a sudden, like, and his room's disgusting. Like his bed's not. I'm a clean freak.
He invited you over to his house and didn't clean his own place. Like,
it was,
bye.
It was like, okay,
bye.
So his bed's not made. There's clothes everywhere. His dresser thing is broken. Like and there's like food, and I'm like ready to like throw up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he like sticks his tongue down my throat.
Oh.
And he has this beard that smells like cheese. Like I'm not even exaggerating. It was like the worst thing of my life. So I left, and I was throwing up in a park because I was so grossed out. And this homeless man is like,
are you okay?
Miss, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then
it's just something really, really gross.
This isn't even the kicker. So I'm not even looking at my phone. I'm throwing up in a park.
Yeah.
And I guess I added him on Snapchat like before. And I'm like,
after the first date, probably that went well.
So I was like messing around on Snapchat, like, oh my God, guys, like I just went on this worst date ever.
Yeah.
Like bad dates, 1 million, comb or nothing, like just messing around. And then all of a sudden I get a message from him because I put as my story. I know.
Oh, Carrie.
So I get a message from him, and he's like, oh, ... So I'm like, block, delete. Like,
oh, that's so good.
So I'm like, oh shit. Like, and then,
oh my God.
So
story.
So
and you're texting your friends being like, did you see it? Did you see what I sent you? But you actually storied it for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Oh
so yeah, that was bad. And
that's Wonder Bread. So he never called you again, or you blocked him? Never.
I blocked him. I blocked his number, and then he followed me on Instagram like 2 weeks later.
But like, you can just like block or ignore.
Yeah. No, I blocked it. And then we got milk bags.
Yeah.
So milk bags. So I'm like, I'm the type of person too that will like download the app, delete the app, download the app, delete the app.
You are not the first person to come on and talk about that.
Yeah, because I'll be like, oh, I should really get off this. Like, I don't really want people to see me on this.
Yeah. Or it's like, I'm frustrated because there's like no good inventory, like no good selection. I haven't really, I went on a shit date before. I don't want to do it again. Like, fuck it. I'll take a break for a bit.
Yeah. Like,
whatever.
Because I don't think it's like natural.
Did you know, though, that even though you delete the app, your profile is still in rotation?
Oh.
So I found that out the hard way.
So, like, even if you're in a relationship, you delete it, like, you're still going to pop up.
Right. So that happened to me. Mm-hmm. And I was getting, like, because, you come across your friends on the apps, like I did.
I swipe right on them all the time, for sure.
I don't know why I took it so seriously at the beginning where I was like, oh, that means they've come across me too. And if I swipe left, if we don't connect, like that means for sure they're going to know I swipe left on them. But then there have been times where I swipe right on a buddy and like there's no connection. I'm like, he swipes left on me?
That asshole.
Yeah. Are you kidding? That's the worst. But then I started getting like some random Facebook messages from some guys like, hey, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my God. Like, it's not like I announced that I was single at any point in time. I just
probably
to be on
through social
there.
media though. Like I can always tell if someone's single.
Well, eventually I was like, this is so weird because it's been 3 guys in 1 week who I knew like years ago.
Oh, weird.
Like not people I would know now.
Yeah.
But like we're Facebook friends and we're Instagram friends and whatever. But it's from like a different time of my partying life.
Yeah. I know exactly
like,
the type of friends.
Not a bad relationship, but like
you're
just not currently in the everyday. And basically like I told them all the same thing where I was like, oh no, I actually like I started seeing someone. But thanks so much. It's great to see you. If you'd love to hang out sometime, like just let me know and we'll meet up for a beer or whatever. And then they just like don't answer
Ghost, Ninja Dust.
And I was like, so is Ninja Dusting ghosting?
Yeah.
I like Ninja Dusting better.
Yeah, it's funnier.
I feel like also not everyone would know what that is.
And like it's kind of jokes because like you think about it and it's just like bam, gone. Like,
yeah. You know what though? Is that the same as Houdiniing? Like where my friends used to get too wasted that one of them would Houdini and I'd be like, where the hell is she? And I'd be so mad.
I use it.
Did you do that?
I do that.
Carrie. I'm the type of friend that's like, I'll sober up so quick because I can't find my friend. She's passed out on her own couch at home.
With like pizza.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Or she went somewhere. She's met other people or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who's like, how could you do that to me? And she's like, what? Who cares? Like,
I know.
We partied all night together and then I left. Like, leave if you want to. And I'm like, I don't know. Because I just worry. I do it with guy friends too.
Yeah.
Guy friends ghost
all the time.
I'm
like the worst Ninja Duster in the world.
Ninja Dusting. So I found out like someone told me because I was like, this is so weird. I'm getting these weird messages from guys that are like hinting at like going out on a date or like hanging out or whatever. And then someone actually at our work was like, you just deleted the app? Your profile's still visible.
Really?
You have to like actually delete your profile. Hint, hint to those out there who might not know. And you delete the app and you're like, no one will see me. You're still there. Your profile is fully still
So mine's
there.
Probably been in rotation for like 4 years.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that sometimes if you put it back on and then you like, let's say 3 guys and it's like match.
Yeah.
Because they swiped on you like so long ago and it's just been sitting there.
Also too, like when I re-download it all the time, like I'll get guys, like all my guy friends like, hey Gomer, back on the app, eh?
Oh my God.
Like I walked into work and legit, the second, I downloaded it probably 2 hours before work. And I'm like, whatever. And then
because it is like, it's a pastime, right? Like, yeah. I felt pretty good.
Like I'm not really on there to find a boyfriend. Like it's just kind of.
But
like,
if it happens, whatever,
for sure. Like I do want a boyfriend, but I'm very picky.
Or a girlfriend, mom and dad. We're not sure yet. Just kidding. Your parents. I imagine your parents would be pretty hilarious. Actually,
my dad is like the funniest human ever.
Is he?
Yeah, my mom's pretty like tight. She's like pretty like she'll get drunk off like 1 glass of wine.
Dinner with my parents now has 1 Smirnoff Ice. That's it.
Yeah.
I have a headache. I'm gonna go to bed. Just kidding, Mom. It's okay. Dad loves his red wine though. Ooh.
Yeah, my dad and I
Cheers,
go.
By the way, you haven't had a sip in a while. We're drinking a glass of red wine on the
Cheers.
show because it's at night. I had Carrie come over at night because I have to work an actual job during the day. So thank you for coming in.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, other episodes we drink a lot of wine, but we won't be doing that tonight. So open to meeting someone. Yeah. Not looking, but open to meeting someone.
Not looking, but like I do want a boyfriend at some point.
You're like, how much longer could I actually go before I actually have to pay attention to doing it?
Like I should probably get one. Like I mean, it would be nice though, like to like go for dinner. Or,
yeah,
like when I'm at.
Then we do that with our friends all the time.
Yeah, like, but like when I talk to my girlfriends, they're like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with this guy. I'm doing that. I'm doing this," and then I'm like, "Shit."
Yeah,
and then I have to branch out to like other friend groups.
Which is totally fine. Pretty hard, yeah.
Which is totally fine. But I'm just like, it just makes me realize how single I am. Like I'm like, shit.
There are so many things that you're like,
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
great. Because one of them recently, actually, a lot of this big discussion. We don't have many friends that are married, but like we've been talking a lot about stag and does.
Yeah, I got invited just because back home.
Oh yeah,
stag and does are like the cool thing, and like they're all getting married.
Yeah.
Like one of my really good friends from when I was growing up is pregnant now, already married. Like
yeah,
but the stag and does, there's like I'm probably invited right now on Facebook to at least 12 for the next couple of months.
Wow, Because I'm like, I get invited to one and I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. Because there's that argument that like you're raising money to pay for your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been a strong, if you can't afford to get married,
then why are you getting married?
Well, you can get married at the courthouse.
Yeah, you could get married. Yeah. You don't need an extravagant wedding.
You know what I mean? If you don't have any money to actually pay for yourself, it's kind of tough to be like, because what happened recently is one of my buddies was telling me that he went to a stag and dough and they raised obviously a lot of money. And like the couple.
Some of them are massive.
Oh, like 100 plus obviously people. And it's like $85 to $100 a ticket. And like, then you need to spend money on all the games and blah, 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 blah. Fine. After the stag and dough was over, the fiance wife part of the half posted on Instagram like a thank you to everyone for coming. We had such a great time. Just finished booking our Greek travel extravagant honeymoon for 1 month.
Oh my God.
Post wedding. We are so excited.
That is
I literally was like,
that's over $10,000.
What?
That would be over $10,000 for sure.
Don't you find it to be a little odd that like she would post, we just booked our honeymoon. Like, thanks so much for coming. We just booked our honeymoon.
I would wait until I got to Greece.
Classless.
Yeah.
Or maybe say nothing and just say, thanks for coming. We can actually get married because of you guys.
Yeah.
Or we can have the big wedding we wanted. Option A is now in the books thanks to you guys.
Thanks, guys. We made enough money, booked the trip, did this.
Thanks so much for getting wasted and spending $100 on that stupid toonie toss over there.
I would have been on that thing all night.
Were so dumb, right?
For sure.
And I'm like, I don't really want to go. And then I get there and I'm like, oh my God, it's so fun. It's not like, I know. You spend way too much money. Anyways, also another, obviously, discussion. I want to hear story number 2.
Yeah, milk bags.
Milk bags.
So milk bags, so I got back on and my roommate and I were sitting there and I'm like, well, this guy just asked me out, like, do I go? He lived around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, whatever, just go. Like, he looks normal. He looks cool. But he had like one selfie. So I was like,
Only one picture or one selfie?
No. Like a very questionable like selfie.
Of himself.
In a mirror.
So you're not into selfies?
No.
So someone who's like, you're in pictures. I just think of
like my guy friends. I'm like, would they ever take this? No.
Yeah. Oh my God, how many shirtless have you come across? I used to come across so many.
A lot of, I've never seen any like naked photos or anything, but a lot of shirtless ones.
Shirtless holding the dog like a football.
Yeah, but it's also like, who took that?
I know.
Like, who took that
now we have timers on our phones that I'm like, you set up your timer. You set up your timer and staged your photo.
And that is like the 20th one he took.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, that is the one for Bumble. Like,
upload now. Swipe right. You've made a match.
Like, this will get me some V. Like,
that's a nice way of saying it.
But yeah, no, okay, so milk bags. So my girlfriend and I are sitting on the couch and I'm like,
she's like, go.
She's like, whatever, just go.
Right around the corner.
She's also like been in relationships. I'm like, well, it's okay. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I go. So I'm prepping myself. I chug a glass of wine before I go.
Get those nerves out of the way.
And then I walk
I'm
up.
at my peak confidence after one glass.
He looks normal. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, like.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When you meet up, are you like, do you know, obviously it's him, is one person like waiting and you're like, hey, I'm Carrie, do you shake hands? What's your like opening?
I'll go for the hug.
Yeah.
I'm not, because shaking hands is too like.
Formal?
Hey, I'm on a job interview and what do
you do
for a living?
We also talked about that.
Oh, for sure it is. Like you go in and you're like, so where are you from? What do you do? But I can tell within 2 minutes if I'm going to like them or not.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the criteria then? Ooh. This falls under the category of small little segment we created called What is your swipe type?
What is your type?
What is your, swipe type?
Swipe type.
So like in 2 minutes of you meeting him.
Yeah.
And you already know, what would say what's your tick off? This yes, this yes, no.
I don't like people with egos.
Okay.
He had an ego right off the bat. Like he was like,
with?
I'm an investment banker and I just spent 16 hours at work and like I make so much money and like literally like within 2 minutes said all that.
Hate it.
And I'm just like, God, like I don't.
You're like I don't work in banking, so we already aren't going to get along.
Yeah. And then he was like, well, what are you going to drink? I'm like, I don't know, Jack and Coke or something or like whatever's on special. I don't care.
Yeah.
And he ordered like some like.
Grey
expensive
Goose.
Like and I'm just like cut the bullshit, dude.
Yeah, like cocktail chilled 3 olives like
and we're at like some dusty bar, so I'm just like guy, like he's like the bartender's gonna have to go back there, like go into the basement, get this dusty ass bottle because no one orders it.
Don't want to be that person. It's in a martini glass. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I can tell right away I don't like him. Mm-hmm. And he's like telling me that he has like anger problems, like his secretary. It was like weird. And then I think he had like some sort of like Tourette's or something because he kept blurting things out. Like we would be talking about the Jays and he'd be like, "I like smoking weed," and I'm like, okay, cool.
Were you adapting as they went? Were you like, oh, yeah. No, I was just talking about the Blue Jays.
Yeah, like there was like 4 of the blurt outs. So I was like, okay, this is really weird. So after one drink, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, I got an early morning. Didn't have to work till like 7 p.m. But I was like, I gotta go. So I'm leaving, and he's
classic.
Like,
I have to get up so
early. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so like I'll walk your direction. Like I have to go to the convenience store, and I'm like, oh, like do you smoke or something? And he's like, no, I gotta get milk bags. Like I like a nice glass of white milk before I go to bed. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was the last date I went on.
You're going to the corner store at the end of our date for
get milk bags.
Yeah, so milk bags.
Milk bags. He specified milk bags. Yes.
Can you imagine dating someone who's like,
no.
Hey, honey, just gonna get my quick glass of white milk before I hop into bed with you, and you're like,
literally, what is with these weirdos that I go out with that like enjoy weird things?
I want to say the beginning part of his ego. I always chalk that up to some insecurity. Where
no,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
Like, did you think that I required that?
Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Which makes me like, am I giving off a vibe that makes me think that you need to be? But that's a guy who hasn't figured out yet that like the quality of a person
for sure
doesn't come from from the amount of money you make.
But like,
I mean, unless you're into that thing.
But some girls probably are.
Oh, right away. It might get him laid.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think he's going to do? Buy you a trip to Mexico after you have sex with him once?
Yeah.
No.
Like, I'm sure he can go to the bar and say I'm an investment banker or whatever he does. And girls will be like, oh, wow. Like, cool. Like,
how much money do you make?
How much money do you make? Can you buy me all my drinks all night? Okay, cool.
Like, that's the important thing where you're like, okay. No, but like, make your own money.
Yeah. So, like, okay, yeah. My type, I would say.
Yeah. So the ego thing, no go.
No.
What would be like 2 other definitive, let's say?
I like glasses. I don't know why, but I really
reading glasses,
like
seeing glasses, like, or sunglasses,
like hipster glasses.
Okay.
I don't know why, but like if
teeny ones.
No, not the teeny ones. But like the
aviators, with clear lenses.
Yeah,
also very
like the Ray-Ban, like
hipster. Okay.
I don't know why, but like I for some reason love glasses on guys.
Yeah.
But they have to be funny. Like I won't date someone that's not funny.
Right, that's true. Hold on, tell me something though right now. What does glasses do for you when you see them? Are you like, oh my god, like he's smart? What is your like?
I don't even know. I don't even know. Like I don't know what.
Oh my god, Karen. He has glasses.
Karen.
He has glasses.
We woman me right now.
Should I tell him my name is Karen? I probably just think it is. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know why. And they have to dress nicely. Like if they dress like a slob, I'm like, okay, that's the way you respect yourself. So,
but when you say dress nicely, do you agree with the stylish Vans that aren't like dirty with holes in them? So like you can wear jeans, Vans, and a hat with me, but it can't be like a dirty dirt ball, whatever. But you don't have to dress like fancy.
Yeah, to be honest,
you don't
like
have to have like designer
suits intimidate me.
Yeah,
but
I think that's because our lives are not surrounded by suits.
Yeah, so like
we function on like a shift basis.
I think so too, because like when I see a guy in a suit and he's like good looking, I'm like, oh shit, I get awkward.
Yeah, because usually the first 2 words out of his mouth are like, I'm an investment banker.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? Didn't quite assume that from the suit you're wearing right now. But then I've also seen guys who like, what other jobs require suits? Tell me that isn't like finance.
There's no.
I can't even think.
No, me either.
Insurance? Not even.
But it's all
insurance
like sales
is like jeans and
yeah.
Sales, you can wear jeans and a cool shirt and be a really good sales rep.
Yeah.
Like really, really good sales rep.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I like is when a guy doesn't appear to be like as accomplished, let's say, or like ahead or creative or anything. And then I find out
when you're talking to him, when you're learning more about him.
I'm talking to that guy over there.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Oh, he's really cool.
Yeah. So like, I don't know.
Have you had any wows before? Any wow moments where you've been like, oh, I did not think this person was going to be that great? Are you always like
I've always went on really shitty dates. Like I've never been
no
on
good ones, eh?
I went on like one, and that was like 4 years ago with this guy that I still see occasionally. Like, but he lives in Chicago, so it's like,
yeah, not doing that.
No, like that's not even realistic.
One more quick question before we wrap for everybody, because you have been fantastic. Although, can you label your stories next time too? Because I expect other like highly hilarious experience stories like milk bags and what's the other one?
We got Wonder Bread
and Wonder Bread and milk bag.
Yeah, no, I have a couple more that I can save.
So one other question. I'm thinking of potentially having some people on who fire up their Tinder or their Bumble and stuff when they're traveling because their job takes them.
For sure. Do? Are you kidding me? Okay. I was in New York like 2 years ago. It is fire there.
Okay, so what do you, when you are somewhere, are you just like, this is better because I actually don't have to see these people ever again? And plus too, like I don't know anything about where I should be going out. Yeah. Or where I should go in for a restaurant. You, right? Yeah, for sure. And like actually one of my girlfriends was expecting sexual intercourse from you. Yeah. And then you're just like, see ya. Okay, bye. I got the sweetest ninja dust. Yeah, ninja dust. See ya. That's good. My girlfriend's actually like still talking to some guy she met off Bumble that like she just full on went to a pre-drink with, met all of his friends in New York. How cool is that? It's kind of scary. Yeah. She was with like a big group of girlfriends, so it was fine. I wouldn't do it with like 2 girlfriends. Would you ever go, is your ideal date like more of like a social setting with a group of people, or are you like a one-on-one kind of person? I like both. I'm fine in either way. Yeah. I love a group, man. I love groups. So group. Yeah. I don't know why. It's like, because when I'm nervous, I overcompensate. Believe me. And Steph K, if you're watching right now, which I'm sure you're going to, she knows flat out that I classically, when I have like a crush on someone or I'm like a little bit nervous or something, I do things like I overcompensate like a friend where I'm like, yeah, buddy. And I'll like hit him a bunch of times in his arm being like, that's so funny. Like Elaine who like shoves Jerry and I'll get out. Like I'm literally like, I do that and the guy ends up being like, oh. And I ruin it. Yeah. And I'll look over at her and she'll be like, you ruined it. See, I just get awkward and I just don't talk to them and my face gets red and I... Why are we awkward like that? Because I love being around people all the time. I'm a very social person, but if I like someone, it's like I can't formulate a sentence sometimes and it's awkward. I want to tell everyone to go follow you on your social networks because she's pretty hilarious. Also, go to YouTube and search... Oh, no. Shit hockey players say. It's so bad. It's so funny, guys. And you can go back to Carrie Ohm's like... How many years ago was that you did that? Like 5 years ago. So if you're watching on YouTube now, you can see what she looks like. She's literally gorgeous. 19. If you're not watching, Carrie's gorgeous and you're listening. But like, she's really funny. Like that is a really, really, really funny segment. And you just like randomly threw that out there. I love it. Your social media is really great too. And you also do some on-air stuff with Fantasy Network. So if you're into fantasy sports, I highly suggest you start following her. Your Instagram handle? Comer. So it's the nickname. The nickname. Yeah. C-O-E? H-M-E-R. Sometimes I'm like, or Carrie Ohm. Yeah. Which is also, you can search her name as well. I highly recommend that you subscribe to our show because I will have her back for more stories. If you don't follow us already or subscribe on YouTube right now, literally just click subscribe. It's nothing. And go onto iTunes. I told you that little purple. Do you listen to your any podcasts on your phone at all? Yeah, all the time. So like free, obviously, app that's on there. Search the Swipe Effect. Subscribe to us. Doesn't cost you any money. We love free things. And follow us on Instagram at the Swipe Effect. Email me if you want to come on the show. I'm thinking of having someone who I don't know. Oh, that would be fun. Which would be the first one. Get some but good stories, I think. I just like... I think it's about time that like of the great people that have written to the show, love you guys. Thank you so much. I wish you didn't live in other provinces. Come if you're in Toronto and you want to come be on the show, email us at theswipeeffect@gmail.com. And otherwise, look forward to next week. Look forward to coming back. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thank you for coming. Comer in the house. She is out. Thanks, guys.